Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast that thinks it's absolutely wonderful that the broken condition is finally here. It's Lost to the Midcard. Welcome back. This is our first show since our takeover and War Games and Survivor Series preview. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Got a little bit to talk about. The end of the show, we'll cover NXT spoilers like we normally do when they are recorded on the same night as we record. There will be some interesting things going down over the next few episodes at Full Sail. Actually, the last time they're going to be at Full Sail for a while. We'll get into that as well. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. If you haven't done so already, make sure you search for Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends to do the same. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way every Thursday and most Mondays after a WWE pay-per-view. You can also subscribe to us on the YouTube. The links to everything there are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. And it's in our pinned message there, and also on our pinned tweet on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also share some of the great tweets within the wrestling world. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. As always, my co-host is on the Twitter at RawFShowtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
I'm all right.
How was Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was great. It was good. I really enjoyed it. Wish I could say the same about SmackDown last night. But, you know, can't always get what you want.
I had 3 straight...
apparently, I do think probably Vince is getting what he wants now, however, and Raw once again being the better product over the Tuesday night counterpart, but I digress.
Yeah. Funny how that happens, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a shitload to eat for 3 straight days. That was great. Big coma. It's so funny. I had not watched The Table for 3 with Flair, Steamboat, and Sting yet, and
yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Got home from my haircut about 20 after, and so I was like, well, I gotta finish up an article I'm writing, so I'll put the network on, so it's already there for NXT, and lo and behold, there we go. Flair, Steamboat, and Sting, Table for 3, right before NXT. Very short, but good Table for 3, but I wanted to point out something since you mentioned it there, Matt. Flair on Table for 3 talks about how SmackDown has been consistently the better show over Raw. Of course, they taped this a while back, but I thought that was kind of funny.
Well, but at the time they recorded, I guarantee it was the truth.
Yeah. Oh, they probably recorded. Was that probably a WrestleMania weekend thing?
Probably.
Yeah, and then that was supposed to air in August, but of course, with Flair's health, they held off on it. But now that Flair is styling and profiling once again, they debuted it after Raw this week, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was on after Raw Monday night. I felt like I had enough wrestling for one night, and I really wasn't feeling tuned into the network at that point.
Yeah, I just got lucky that the fact that it was on right before NXT tonight. So, and yeah, then there was that mystery NXT episode where we kind of hypothesized, is Triple H going the Impact Wrestling model and maybe airing one live? No. They recorded the NXT San Antonio show, which I believe was a day or two after TakeOver, I think.
Actually, I think it was like a day or two before.
Was it a day or two before? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because San Antonio was the one that had, it was Adam Cole and Drew McIntyre for the title with HBK as the referee.
But yet that one won't air.
No, of course that's not going to air.
Speaking of
that was definitely the same show. That was recorded on Friday night, but I had no idea they were recording matches for television.
Yeah, I didn't know either, which got me thinking, and I thought they're going to go live. I'm like, well, that's cool. If they're going to show the first episode of the tapings on live, that's cool. But no, not so much. At the end of the show, we'll cover the spoilers. They are, I believe, filming the final episode as we speak right now. So 3 of the 4 episodes are in the can. They are filming all the way to December 27th, so not quite to take over. I don't know if you heard about this yet or not, Matt, but this will be the last time they film NXT in Full Sail for quite some time. As Mike Johnson from PW Insider has mentioned that tonight's tapings will be the last time in several months due to scheduling conflicts with the venue, which is odd because NXT is recorded at Full Sail for over 5 years now. They've never really had an extended period of time away outside of maybe that trip to the Arnold Classic. So it's kind of weird.
Triple H made this point on the last conference call.
Mm-hmm.
Every road to WrestleMania, it becomes increasingly more difficult to nail down dates because Full Sail's very busy at the beginning of the year. So when you're on the road to WrestleMania and they need to schedule times where everything works, it's more difficult. That's why, if you remember, every NXT run prior to WrestleMania had like a 2 or 3 taped show from like another venue in Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember what venue it was, but they've done this every year, and I never really thought about it, but they've actually done this every year before during WrestleMania season.
Yeah,
they go and they tape somewhere else. It's just this time, instead of sticking in Orlando, they're choosing to tape in Atlanta, where the old WCW the WCW Saturday Night was taped.
The center stage.
Yeah, and Center Stage in Atlanta or something like that. So that should be interesting. Of
course,
apparently they've already ran house shows there before, so they liked what they saw enough that they wanna go back and do it.
Well, this sounds like, according to Mike Johnson, several months though, which is weird. I know they've done a set of tapings like at San Jose before that WrestleMania. Obviously, Orlando was where it was last year. They did some episodes of NXT from Central Florida University. So this almost sounds like it's more than just a set of tapings. It sounds like it's several months, as Mike Johnson puts it at. So
it's like because they're taping like 2 or 3 dates in Atlanta. So,
and the first taping in Atlanta will be January 4th for that. So, while we were gone, not much happened, but something major did happen on Raw, as all of a sudden, Paige's music hits out of the blue during Alexa Bliss's championship match, and, of course, big ovation for Paige. She said she didn't come alone. And she was right. Out of the blue, through the crowd comes none other than Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Oddly enough, both were on the same season of Tough Enough that Paige was a judge on. And they have recognized that tie. And Matt, let's just strictly talk about these 3 women debuting last week and this week. I say it's been a job well done, hasn't it?
I've loved everything about the Absolution stable so far. I guess I can't say I'm absolutely thrilled with their name. It's kind of bland, but everything else about the group I love, and I feel like everything that SmackDown's doing right now is a disservice to what's happening on Raw right now. Because to me, what they're doing on Raw feels like a what they're doing on SmackDown compared to Raw just feels like a second-rate Raw angle, and it really, I think it hurts the overall feeling of Absolution, because you're looking at this garbage on the other show thinking, why the hell are they doing this when Raw's doing the same thing?
Yeah, that takes us to the very next night on SmackDown, where basically the exact same angle was copied, just put in reverse, where the women debuted backstage and then showed up in the ring, where and I let me correct myself, Paige and the ladies came in during the Fatal 4-Way to determine a number one contender for the title. Then they would attack the champion backstage, and then they flip-flopped it on SmackDown, which was not as good and basically lazy, wasn't it, Matt?
Lazy. I don't even know if there's a term for beyond lazy, and I don't even know if the word has been invented yet, but that's what I would use to describe what the SmackDown creative team has done over the past 2 weeks.
They vinced it. There, I made it up. I made it up right there. So, yes, the very next night, 3 women debut. 2 of the 3, deservedly so. The other one, especially after cutting that promo last week, still wondering. We'll let you figure that out. But Ruby Riott and I'm drawing a blank on Sarah Logan. There we go. I was gonna say Mary Dobson, but Sarah Logan and then Liv Morgan. And 2 weeks in, it definitely does not pack the punch of what Raw did. It's been the writing is, like you said, a lot worse, and it sucks because Logan and Riott are 2 great talents, but yet they're I
don't know if Logan was ready to be called up either.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she's
been, honestly, out of the 3 of them, the only one I felt that was ready to be called up was Ruby.
Yeah, well, I mean, Logan has wrestled a lot in the Indies. I think she's good. Obviously, Ruby's the best of the 3. Liv, we both can agree on, was not ready. I mean, we were commenting on how poor her wrestling was a month ago on NXT. So, but I guess that, it don't matter to Vince, I guess. So they're called the Riot Squad, and now Ruby Riott's got 2 T's.
I was gonna say with 2 fucking T's.
They tazzed her.
What the hell?
Which is weird because I thought the WWE already trademarked Ruby Riott as it was.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't make any sense. But then again, nothing about this group makes sense. The pairing doesn't make any sense. Paige teaming with the 2 people that she trained on Tough Enough makes a lot of sense.
And they provided the backstory.
The whole story of everything that they're about and what they're doing makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
The pairing of the 3 on SmackDown doesn't make any sense at all. And it really feels like they're doing it just to do it because Raw's doing something similar. And it reeks of desperation from the SmackDown creative team, which is clearly a far cry of what they were a year ago.
Yeah. And
I don't know if you mentioned this in a joke or somebody mentioned this to me in a joke, but honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. It feels like when they did the roster shakeup, remember when they moved the people around earlier this year? Mm-hmm. It feels to me like they moved creative teams around too.
Well, I told you. I told you on Twitter. I was
going to say I couldn't remember if it was you or somebody else, but when you said it, it honestly it makes more sense than it actually makes as a joke. Like, it legitimately feels like the SmackDown creative team got moved to Raw, and the Raw creative team got moved to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because the difference quality in the 2 shows over the last 2 to 3 months are definitely trending in opposite directions, and it really sucks. Like, I would, as much as I've loved, SmackDown 95% of the time since the brand split has happened, like, I find myself enjoying Raw more and more every week, and I'm enjoying SmackDown less and less. And if it wasn't for like 5 or 6 talents on SmackDown right now, to me, it's almost a missable show.
Yeah, and you know what the the common denominator is in all of this for SmackDown is Jimmy Jacobs. Jimmy Jacobs apparently had some great ideas, working closely with guys like Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens.
If Jimmy Jacobs was high up in creative on SmackDown, and that's accurate, and I don't know what brand he was associated with more prominently, but if he was high on the SmackDown side, and we've seen what's happened since he's been released in the last 2 months, oh my God, who knew how valuable he was on the creative side of things until now?
Well,
because it's garbage.
I know, I don't know for a fact that he was more on SmackDown, but just listening to what Jericho and Owens have said, it seems like he was, because
yeah, but I mean, the only thing is, when he took the picture with the Bullet Club, it was Raw.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not sure.
And of course, Jericho and Owens were on Raw too. So, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, but I'm telling you what, Raw's creative's gotten a lot better, and SmackDown's creative's gotten a lot worse.
The timing is sure curious that SmackDown started to suck since Jacobs has left. So. I don't know.
And it's really sad, dude. I have like I said, I've got like 5 or 6 favorites, like my really favorite guys on SmackDown with Styles, Nakamura, Owens, Zayn.
One of the guys worked a dark match. No, he wasn't even on TV last night.
Well, the reason that they claim the reason that they do that is to keep people through 205 Live.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like they were doing that with AJ Styles for a time.
Yep.
Like he wasn't working matches on SmackDown, and they purposely were keeping him for after 205 Live to keep the audience there.
I heard that they're switching it up to tape that first, kind of like what they did with Superstars and Main Event.
Dude, they should have done that from the beginning. They should have done that from the get-go.
Is that true? What's happening?
I haven't heard that.
Oh, I heard
that. If that happens, that's actually a smart move, because it should have happened from day one. This show does not need to be live.
I don't know if it was your idea. I don't know if it was your idea or my idea. We'll just say it's our idea. But I mean, Full Sail, I think, is the best answer for that. I don't know, logistically, it's probably not the best, but that crowd. I mean, just looking at guys like Rich Swann. I mean, the Full Sail crowd would always have a great chant for Rich Swann. And I think obviously these guys started at Full Sail with the Cruiserweight Classics. I like the idea of Full Sail, but logistically,
I don't think at this point in the game it's logistically feasible.
Yeah.
To be taping another show, like they're already stretching themselves thin with Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
Yeah.
To add a 4th show that they would have to find some time to record. I don't think it's in the cards for them to do it. So
how about some good news? Anthem released a statement to Sports Illustrated today saying that they are no longer pursuing legal action on the broken Matt Hardy gimmick. Quote from Anthem: "We have seen the character development. We will be interested to see where they take the concept. Our new talent agreements all incorporate language that allows talent to continue their Impact persona after they leave the company. We are working with our legal team to amend our existing agreements to extend this to all of our current and former talent," which that statement then was expanded on by Mike Johnson just a few hours later after that, which basically says the rights to their characters and everything that goes with them are now going to be owned by the personas themselves. Money was a kind of a sticking point to things, the legal reasons and all that, and Ed's already blown enough money trying to get the Matt Hardy thing done. Mike Johnson uses the example of EC3. He can be EC3, Ethan Carter III, whatever, if he goes to WWE or Ring of Honor. Matt said, "Why would he be Ethan Carter III in the WWE when we were talking before we recorded? Yeah, maybe he just goes by EC3, because we all know Vince hates 2 named people now. Harper and Rowan are another.
Very clear.
So EC3 could obviously be used.
I think it's because Vince is too old and stupid to remember 2 names.
That could be.
So he just cuts everybody down to 1 name.
Antonio
we
Cesaro,
have to make this easy to remember, damn it.
Antonio Cesaro is a mouthful, though. Biggie Langston, that's not really a mouthful. Luke Harper, not a mouthful. Eric, I do like the Harper, Rowan, Bludgeon Brothers. I like that. I like everything about the Bludgeon Brothers so far. Yeah, let's talk about them real quick, Matt. I mean, we'll get to them obviously on SmackDown later, but what did you think about the Bludgeon Brothers? So I like everything about them so far. Maybe the outfits are a little weird, but everything about them so far, I've enjoyed. Their music's awesome, their entrance is awesome, and obviously in the ring, they're working well together as they're not strangers to being a tag team. What are your thoughts on?
Exactly. No, to me, it's Harper and Rowan with a new coat of paint, and there's nothing wrong with that because the tag team wasn't broken to begin with. I think that the pairing of the two work really well together. I think they both needed a new look per se because the 10-year-old ragged tank top from Luke Harper, in my opinion, was getting old.
Well,
I don't mind. Like, I know a lot of people don't like the new gear. Like, I don't mind it at all. I think it looks fine.
Yeah.
And I think they work really well together. I would like to see them take the tag titles from the Usos.
They probably will.
So, I mean, will they? I don't know, because I mean, it surely looks like they're making the Usos babyface out of nowhere. Over the past 2 to 3 weeks for like no reason whatsoever. Now we're just supposed to accept these guys as baby faces. It's really fucking weird. They're still heels in my book, but they're definitely writing these guys now to be. They're definitely on the baby face side of the spectrum at the moment.
Well, the fight with the New Day, they ended up respecting each other. So then.
Just because you respect somebody doesn't mean you turn a baby face. That's what I don't understand. I respect a lot of people too. Didn't mean I turned baby face.
Yeah, you'll never be a baby face.
Yeah.
Let's hop back to the Impact thing. What do you think about that decision by?
I think it's the first smart decision Ed Nordholm's made since he's taken control of the company.
It only took 12 months, huh?
Well, better late than never. They're already a sinking ship. They're just trying to get people to work for them now. Because in my opinion, that's what this is all about. I think they've probably reached out to people over the last month and a half, and people are like, "I don't want to come and work for you," and you do to me what you did to the Hardys. And I think they've heard that a lot. I think they've heard that a lot.
I bet Ryback was one of them.
Maybe. You know what? I think they've probably heard it a lot more than they care to admit. And they're like, you know what? We've hurt our bottom line because people don't want to come in and work for us because of what we did to Matt and Jeff Hardy. We need to make this right. And honestly, it's a step in the right direction. Is it going to fix and save the entire company overnight? Probably not. Will this company still be in existence a year from now? I don't know. But now... I'd say 24 hours ago, I would have given them a lot less likelihood of being open a year from now than I give them tonight. Because I feel like this might have been the thing that they needed to allow people to come in and be willing to work with their company again. And another thing, Ed Nordholm, you want to do, since you're listening to the people right now.
Oh, I think you're listening to the podcast.
How about you stop taking a percentage of your talent's independence dates? How about you just let them earn what they earn on the side and you don't get a fucking penny because you didn't do anything to fucking deserve it to begin with. So you want to give them the rights to their characters, give them the rights to their independent booking money too, and then maybe you could start putting a roster together that maybe conceivably someday you might be proud of.
Yeah, I never understood that at all either outside of what ways can we make money or not lose as much money. Yeah. I
think it's massively disrespectful.
The best news to come out of all of this is the fact that when he comes to the WWE, he could tell the people, "Dummy, yeah."
That is true. Being able to keep the Eli Drake character, I think, was probably more important for Eli Drake and James Storm probably than anybody else in that company right now. So. Cowboy James Storm's contract's running out within the next couple weeks. He's already wrapped up with the company, but the contract's not like dead. Eli Drake, who knows how long he's going to want to stick around there when his deal's up. being able to take that dummy gimmick with him, and if he could take that and WWE would let him run with that in NXT, there's money to be made there.
Oh,
there's a lot of money to be made there.
It's going to be hard for me to not say Full Sail anymore, but the NXT crowd's going to go nuts for that.
Well, don't ignore how Full. It's not like Full Sail's gone forever. This is only a temporary thing. Well, I think a lot of people are really making a bigger deal out of this than this really is.
Well, it says several months.
It just comes down to logistic timing.
Several months to me sounds like 6 to 8.
No. Several months is like January to March.
That's a few months.
It's just prior to WrestleMania. Everything's going to go back. I guarantee you, after WrestleMania, everything's going to go back to normal, and they're going to be back at Full Sail. The only thing that's going to suck for them not being at Full Sail for those couple months is going to be a lot harder to get a hold of spoiler results.
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of people in the Orlando area that I know that go, so I can read along with the results as they happen. Taping that stuff in Atlanta is going to be a whole different animal in terms of me being able to get a hold of that information as it happens. And hell, maybe that's by design too.
You never know. The official Drew McIntyre is going to be out for a few months with a torn bicep, and he took to Twitter on Monday. Unfortunately, I did suffer an injury during my title defense at TakeOver. I've dealt with setbacks before. The reality is I always come back better. There's a scary thought for whomever the NXT champion is come 2018. Hashtag TikTok. So get well soon, Drew.
Hashtag Almas is a sloppy piece of shit. I'm pretty sure that was on there too.
Yeah, maybe.
Did you go back and watch that finish yet?
Oh, they showed it on NXT tonight.
Okay, so do you see what I'm saying now?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see how I didn't see it being sloppy, but
you have to watch the move live.
Yeah.
Like how it occurred in the entire process instead of just how they edited it down for a video package. Yeah. Like legitimately go back and watch the finish of that match and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Like literally he either tore his bicep or he broke his neck. And to me, I feel like he made the right decision. Yeah. I mean, it sucks that he's out for a few months, but it could have been a career ender. So luckily, it's just a torn bicep. It could have been so much worse.
Yeah. Matt, you ever heard of the telephone game?
Yes.
The telephone game, yeah. So I say something to you, and you say something to somebody else, and once that goes down the line, what I said originally kind of gets changed a little bit. Well, that happened with AJ Styles, who a couple of weeks ago was on the radio saying he was thinking about taking it easy in a couple of years. Mainly taking it easy as in probably not wrestling 300 days out of the year any longer. Plus, he's 40 right now, but also has 4 kids.
He's got kids.
He's got kids. Not as many as Heath Slater, but he has 4 of them. So
kids.
That turned into a rumor that AJ Styles is retiring after WrestleMania 34, and AJ took to Twitter this morning and said, "Wrong."
Yeah.
So there.
I'm sure he wanted to say "dummy." Yeah.
Dummy. Yeah. While we were gone, Roman Reigns is your new Intercontinental Champion. The reason being is and then the Shield off-camera triple power-bombed Miz through the announce table on Raw. And reason being is this past Monday started filming for the Marine 6 Close Quarters. And he will be co-starring with the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels and also a Marine teaming up with The Miz. And also Becky Lynch will star in the film as well, which is why the Riot Squad injured her to write her off of TV for a while. So there you go. Have you watched the Marine series, Matt?
I saw the first one with Cena, and I think I saw the one with DiBiase. I actually haven't seen any of the ones with The Miz, but I feel like I should at this point.
Yeah, because
if they're on their fourth one, clearly they're making money from them. So maybe I need to see what all the hoopla is about, and you sit down and watch a couple Marine movies with The Miz.
I really want to see 5 because 5's got Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, Heath Slater, Naomi, I might be leaving somebody. There's a lot of wrestlers in Maurice
was in there, yeah.
A lot of wrestlers in the last one. They must have got killed off or something. Maybe that's a spoiler alert that they're not in the sixth one.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So yeah, Roman Reigns, your new Intercontinental Champion while we were gone. Meltzer thinks he's dropping the belt before Mania.
I do too.
It was just put on him to give him the Grand Slam, and they had to get it off of Miz, so they put it on Reigns to give him the Grand Slam. So you think he loses to Joe at the Rumble, but then he wins the Rumble, or I don't know.
No. Raw has Elimination Chamber. I'm telling y'all right now, SmackDown's winning the Royal Rumble this year.
Nakamura, hopefully.
Yes, and Reigns will win the Elimination Chamber to challenge Brock Lesnar for the title, because you goddamn well know Brock Lesnar isn't stepping into the Elimination Chamber.
Well, it's also been reported that he's not going to be defending the title at the Rumble either, but he's going to be there. What does that tell you?
Wait, what?
Meltzer states...
I did not hear that.
Meltzer states, this week, because I wrote about it, on the Wrestling Observer, I believe it was on Tuesday's edition, that right now the backstage feeling is Lesnar's not defending his title because there's no credible person to put him up against. Obviously, Finn Balor ain't over enough. He's been having fun with that on Twitter, hasn't he?
Yeah, which leads me to believe that it might be a whole lot of nothing.
But at the same time, he says Lesnar's scheduled to appear at the Rumble. So my thought was, okay, is he just there to cost Reigns the match, the Royal Rumble match? Why
that doesn't even make any sense.
No, that's the only thing I could think of, though, because...
If Lesnar is going to be at the Royal Rumble, Lesnar will be defending the Universal Championship. Like, I don't even want to hear anybody even say, like, the only way Lesnar is in the Rumble, is at the Rumble, and he's not defending the title, is that they run a storyline where Heyman's like, Lesnar wants to have the WWE Championship too. And since AJ Styles has it, we want to do Styles Lesnar 2 at WrestleMania, and they put Lesnar enters the Royal Rumble try to challenge AJ title for title at WrestleMania. That would be the only way. He's not I feel like he's going to be there defending the title.
There's so many times where I'm like, damn, I wish you were the booker. That'd be kind of a fun storyline.
Yeah, and he would be eliminated by Reigns.
Yeah, and then Lesnar comes in and just throws Reigns into the third row and starts beating the fuck out of him, and there you go.
Yeah, that works. I still think he's going to be defending his title against someone at the Rumble. I don't believe for 1 second that he would be at the Rumble and not defending the title. That's just. Yeah. I think Meltzer's on drugs.
Well, we say that on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But I gladly take cash writing about what he reports on. So yeah.
But
Matt, you want more proof that the WWE listens to Lost in the Midcard?
Well, I feel like we have a laundry list of proof, but if you want to add to it, why not?
Let's add to it. It only took about a year and a half for them to do this, but they listened to me, which is great. They listened to me, and in 2018, Money in the Bank will be a co-branded pay-per-view, June 17th, Chicago, Illinois.
You just listen to you. I've said the same thing.
I said it right off the bat, that it should be a co-branded pay-per-view. Chicago, Illinois. Wouldn't that be great if CM Punk got his ass beat in the UFC and then returned?
Man, aren't you a little delusional?
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping. I'm hoping for a day where CM Punk
I really don't think we ever see him back.
And Daniel Bryan wrestle again, speaking of Daniel Bryan, I hear that the WWE is reevaluating his medical results.
Yeah, because Bree said Daniel's been to like 8 different doctors that says he can work. So,
boy,
to me, they don't really have much other choice but to reevaluate options, because if they don't, they're going to lose him. And he's going to go to Ring of Honor and help that company blow up. And I think if Daniel Bryan arrives at Ring of Honor, that might be the thing that would pique CM Punk's interest.
I said that on the show
professional wrestling.
I said that on the show before. I'm like, could you imagine if Punk and Bryan on Ring of Honor?
And you know what? They're Cody and the Bucks are planning that 10,000 seat
that he's
venue
financing
in 2018. Can you imagine if they convinced CM Punk to work that show?
They'll sell out.
Like you know how like Punk is really tight with the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
And Punk has told them before, like if I have ever have any interest in getting back into professional wrestling, I will call you two first.
Yeah.
So, like, it's more likely that you could see CM Punk doing something with the Young Bucks before you ever see something occurring with the WWE.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that's, honest to God, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
The problem is...
I really, really don't.
Yeah, the problem is with Punk and the WWE is it's between Punk and Triple H, not Punk and Vince necessarily.
Well, I feel it's between both of them. I think it's Vince and Triple H.
I think it's more Triple H.
That's the problem.
But I think it's more Triple H than Vince.
See, I think it's both. Like where Del Rio's problems with Triple H and not with Vince, I think Punk's problems with both.
Oh, I think he's got problems with Vince, but I think there's more with Triple H, which is why.
See, that's the issue. I feel like when Vince goes away, there'll be an open window for people who didn't want to work for Vince to come back. But at the same token, you know, when you have problems with both of the guys, the guy that's there and the guy that's in line to run things next, it doesn't really bode well for you to ever, you know, mend those bridges and make that comeback.
You want me to play Vince and piss in your Cheerios right now on Daniel Bryan? Watch his first match with the WWE back be against Shane McMahon.
Oh my God.
I'm not far off on that, am I? All these seeds that are planting right now, I'm in the mind of Vince right now. Yeah.
I'd like to see Bryan turn and form a faction with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Oh, I saw. Was that you that tweeted that or something last night?
I might have. I don't remember. I don't remember what I tweeted last night, but I would love to see Bryan return to the ring and form a faction with Owens and Zayn. I think that would be fucking incredible.
That would be amazing. Matt, back to the Money in the Bank co-branded. Good news, only 14 pay-per-views next year. What, do we have
Thank God.
So
there's like 20 this year, dude.
20? Yeah, so we'll probably do a loss to the mid-card after all these pay-per-views.
I honestly, I'm really happy with the scaled back.
Well, we won't
pay-per-views.
We won't do one. We won't do one after WrestleMania, unfortunately, because I'll be there.
Yeah.
But, so we'll probably the other 13. We'll probably give you a Monday episode of Lost in the Midcard. So, do you have any idea? Let's talk my travel plans here on the air. Why don't we? Do you have any idea when NXT Takeover and Raw tickets go on sale for Noah?
If I had to guess, and I'm trying to remember the way they were set up when I went to New Orleans, I feel it was like mid to late December. No later than early January. It's going to be sometime within the next month and a half.
Well, I'm sure you'll see it and let me know. So.
Well, of course. Well, you'll probably see it too. But
I'm probably going to Takeover solo, but that's all right. It's one ticket's going to be easier to get than two. So
one ticket will be much easier to get than two.
But the lady will be with me for Mania and Raw. We fly back on Tuesday, so we aren't going to SmackDown. But right now, I don't know. Maybe the Hall of Fame. I don't know. Right now, it's just gonna. Right now, I'm just. The family's gonna be together too, so we're gonna have a lot of stuff there. So I might just cut the wrestling down to Takeover, Mania, and Raw. unlike Dallas, where I did all. But it was my first WrestleMania. I had to do it all except for the Hall of Fame. But instead of the Hall of Fame,
at this point, there's no reason to go to SmackDown.
Yeah, good point.
Like unless their creative massively improves over the next 6 months.
Yeah.
They could fix a lot of shit by letting AJ retain through the Rumble and letting Nakamura win the Rumble.
Are you afraid that Jinder's going to win at Clash?
No, absolutely not. He's done.
Okay, good.
I am not even slightly afraid now. The fact that he was scheduled to have his title rematch prior to India on that SmackDown Live, and they canceled it in favor of putting it on a pay-per-view after the India tour is over. Absolutely not. Like his push is done. He's losing the Styles at Clash of Champions, and he can become the Lost in the Midcard mascot of 2018 for all I care. The Jinder Mahal experiment of a main event world title champion is dead.
So 14 pay-per-views 2018. Obviously the Rumble in Philly, Elimination Chamber in Vegas, Fastlane in Columbus, Ohio. Then we got Mania. Backlash is Chamber Raw only, Fastlane SmackDown only. After Mania, Backlash Raw only in Newark, New Jersey. Payback SmackDown only, Baltimore, Maryland, your backyard. Hopefully SmackDown's better by then.
If it was like Elimination Chamber or Money in the Bank, I would most certainly consider going, because those are type of matches that I haven't been able to see live. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to see Payback. Like you'd really have to stack the fuck out of that card to get me interested in going to that pay-per-view.
And then
if they would have done Elimination Chamber, I'd have been there in a heartbeat. Yeah. That's one of my bucket lists.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a Money in the Bank match live when it was still at WrestleMania, but I've never been at like a Money in the Bank pay-per-view. But like an opportunity to go to an Elimination Chamber, that is something, even though I'm not thrilled with the creative direction, it's a Raw show, and that's a bucket list match type for me to see live. I would go to that. But Payback, I don't think so.
We'll set up a GoFundMe for to send Lost in the Midcard to Vegas to see Elimination Chamber.
That would be Dave. Yeah, why the hell not? I'll go if you want to set it up.
Yeah, I doubt we get the money.
I haven't been to Vegas in a while. I like Vegas.
Unless we got a sugar daddy that listens to Lost in the Midcard. If we do have a sugar daddy listening, we'll be you can be our sugar daddy anytime, pal. June, as we mentioned, Money in the Bank.
You don't know.
Yeah, true. June, Money in the Bank in Chicago. Battleground in July, Raw pay-per-view in Pittsburgh. SummerSlam, of course, Brooklyn for the 4th straight year. September has 2 pay-per-views, as May has 2 pay-per-views with Backlash and Payback. September has 2 pay-per-views, Extreme Rules for Raw in San Antonio, and Hell in a Cell for SmackDown in Nashville. TLC is in Boston in October for Raw. Then you got Survivor Series, and then Clash Champions in December for SmackDown. Survivor Series is at the Staples Center, and Clash is in San Jose. Is this the first year that they've used Clash of the Champions for pay-per-view?
No, they've used it before.
I couldn't remember.
I think once or twice. I mean, it hasn't been consistent, but they have used it before. You'll know what I mean when I say this, but we'll talk more about this later. The 4-way's happening right now as we speak.
Cool. Starrcade happened over the holiday weekend.
A house show happened this weekend that just happened to be named Starrcade. I still don't know why people care.
Apparently, it was a great house show.
It was a house show.
Lots of cool things happened, but what pissed me off was the fact that they were talking about it on Raw and SmackDown.
Like we'd all fucking seen it.
Yeah, it would have been nice to fucking watch it. They're sitting there shilling, and then they're saying, "You'll never know what'll happen at a WWE live event." Yeah, none of this stuff happens at a WWE live event. This was a stacked card. So what the fuck? I mean, seriously, that pissed me off when they were talking about it on Monday and Tuesday. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. You know,
I'm sure it's their way of trying to increase house show attendance, but I mean, it's not going to work. I mean, people aren't that stupid.
And that was the other thing that pissed me off is like, you never know what's going to happen at a WWE live event. Yeah, you're none of this because this was purposely.
Well, the only time they can say that and it actually worked was when Styles beat Owens for the United States title at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, that's Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, but they did it, and look, that's them. That they can do that and say you never know what's going to happen at a WWE live event, and I accept that. But when you build something as Starrcade and you advertise the card 2 months in advance, and then you're like, you never know what's going to happen at WWE live, like, shut up, just shut up, you fucking idiots.
But God damn it, Matt, that spine buster Art Anderson put on Dolph was pretty fucking cool, wasn't it?
I've only seen pictures. I haven't seen the video.
WWE actually has a video on their YouTube.
I know they have videos out. I didn't watch any of it. I'm just like, I'm not falling into the hype of a house show. I'm not watching any of this stuff.
You should watch the spine buster at least. That was pretty fucking cool. Old Double A can still deliver that. And the show itself, who was responsible for the return of Starrcade and all that, the show itself was written by Michael P.S. Hayes, and he was the person that pitched the revival of Starrcade back in June. Realized that the WWE was running in Greensboro over Thanksgiving weekend, and it all happened from there. Vince approved the idea. A lot of talk about it. How about you put it on the fucking network next year? Because apparently they had a lot of cameras down there. But I guess they do film every live event, Mike Johnson says. So
they do. Every NXT house show I've been to, there's been a camera crew there filming it.
Well, of course, you got the 365 series now, so you almost have to have someone filming at every turn. I still haven't watched the Owens one yet. Have you?
I really enjoyed it, but it's not really as 365 as they would lead you to believe.
Oh,
like they really, like, it goes from like day 30 to like day 165, and I'm not giving accurate numbers, like I don't remember for sure, but like there's huge gaps like between these numbers of what they were doing. I was expecting a more in-depth special, but I did really enjoy the concept, and I'd like to see more of those in the future, if possible.
And apparently they were selling special T-shirts and posters paying tribute to the first Starrcade in 1983, which I would love to have that T-shirt. Ric Flair, Harley Race on the program, on the poster there. So, and Roddy Piper in a dog collar match. I didn't know Piper was in the NWA back then.
Everybody was in the NWA back then.
Yeah, I guess. It's been announced that Hideo Itami has officially been announced. He'll be in the main roster joining the 205 Live brand, and of course Monday Night Raw.
Show him respect.
Yeah, something like that. Still don't know when that's going to happen.
No, it ain't happening until this title match happens.
Yeah.
You know, the 2 4-ways and then blah blah blah, and then when their faces Enzo. Like we're not going to see Hideo until after that.
And how important is 205 Live? Those qualifying matches are on Raw. I haven't even watched 205 Live in a while, so
it's an alright thing to pass the time. It's not must-see television, but I mean,
yeah, needs better writing. Our wishes are with the Ugandan giant Kamala. He was on life support, but thankfully was taken off and breathing on his own and progressing. So it's still a long road of recovery, but it sounds like things are looking up for Kamala, which is known in real life as James Harris. Of course, Kamala, one of those great characters of the 80s in the WWE. So get well soon there, big guy.
Oh, God.
What'd you see now?
We'll talk about it later.
Facepalm from the spoiler?
Yes.
Sports Business Journal has an article discussing the UFC negotiating with other networks as their Fox deal is expiring, and reports are that the WWE has been meeting with Fox this summer. They're also talking with Disney, CBS, Amazon, and YouTube as they're looking beyond traditional outlets for their next television deal. The AOL-Yahoo merger is also another option. So, very interesting. We might have a new home for the WWE.
I think it's all posturing to get a bigger deal from USA. I don't think they're going anywhere.
Yeah, because if you move networks, that's going to further knock your ratings down, I think.
I think WWE already saw last time what happened to them when they moved from USA to TNN/Spike TV.
Yeah.
And then went back to USA. I feel like they know USA is where they want to stay. And I feel it's all posturing to just get the best deal from USA that they can. I really don't foresee WWE, unless USA comes out and says, we don't want to bring you back, I can't see WWE leaving USA Network unless they were forced to.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think they're still making USA a boatload of money. So
yeah. Ratings are down, but ratings are down across the board in everything.
There's too much out there. This made me smile. WWE put out a list of Grand Slam champions in the wake of Roman Reigns being added to that list, and they left JBL.
Bitch.
They left JBL off that list.
And then he whined and cried like a baby on social media. Somebody needed to give him a pacifier to shut him up. Put him down and burp him and get him ready for his nap.
He still has me blocked on Twitter.
Oh, I'm blocked on Twitter too. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean I still can't see stupid tweets that he puts out on social media.
Well, I can't see the tweets, so.
Oh, I see them on wrestling sites.
Yeah, that's what I see him on. Let me see if they added him. I'm going to the article right now. Oh, I didn't even realize Ambrose was I should have known, but yeah, when Ambrose won the Intercontinental, he became a Grand Slam. Yep, he's still not on there.
Good. That's awesome. Fuck that douchebag.
WrestlePro announced that Emma will be making our first independent date on February 3rd from Rahway, New Jersey. So WrestlePro Wrestling. Then it was also announced that she will be wrestling for Standalone Wrestling on February 24th, and then also for another company. What Tomorrow? Is that the name of the company? I haven't even heard of them, but
I don't know. Doesn't ring a bell to me. Doesn't mean that they're not good. It just means I haven't heard of them.
And Remix Pro Wrestling and Superstars of Wrestling and another wrestling, Absolute Intense Wrestling. It's like every wrestling company on the planet. I think Emma is signed on to wrestle for.
Well, I'm sure she's going to make some good money over the next few months. The question is, how long will it last?
Looks like she's taking on Angelina Love at the Wrestle Pro event on February 3rd.
The former wife of Davey Richards.
Yep, and she'll be known as Tennille. And she'll be led to the ring by her manager, Captain.
I knew you were going to say that. I fucking knew it. If I would have been able to put money down in Vegas on the next line you were going to say, I would be a millionaire right now. I fucking knew it.
This Saturday, Matt, if you're around, fire up some Twitch, because House of Hardcore will be returning for their second live-streamed event on Saturday, this December 12th from Waukesha, Wisconsin at the County Expo.
If Shane Douglas is on it, I don't know if I care enough to tune in.
He's not in a match.
Why the fuck is Shane Douglas still relative in 2017?
It's a franchise, man.
He has not been the franchise of anything in about 25 years. So,
I'll tell you this, he's not listed here, so...
All right. Well, if he's not on the show, I might tune in.
Hardcore war between Tommy Dreamer and Abyss. Candice Michelle will take on Lisa Marie Varon.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be Candice's retirement match.
Oh, wow. Okay, you know what? I'll tune in for that. That's actually pretty cool.
She's taking on Lisa Marie Varon, as you may know, is Victoria in the WWE. This will be Candice Michelle's last wrestling match ever.
That's really cool. I didn't know that. I'll tune in for that.
Austin Aries.
You got to remind me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm home, so I think I'll be able to watch it live. But I'll remind you. Austin Aries will take on Joey Mercury, and
He's the champion, right?
There's no champion yet.
I thought Joey Mercury was the champion.
No, they don't have a champion.
No, Joey Mercury's the MCW champion. My bad.
Yeah. They're gonna.
I'm getting all my independent promotion champions mixed up.
They are gonna crown champions next year.
Cool.
Tommy did say so, because obviously with the Twitch deal, they're gonna go to a more of a story-based lineup,
which makes sense.
Yeah, so they're gonna introduce titles. I did not know Joey Mercury was even gone from the WWE. That was weird.
Yeah, he's been gone for a while.
Yeah, I did not know that until, well, obviously 3 weeks ago I knew, but I did not know that. Him and Dreamer had a great fucking First Blood match at the first Twitch event. The interesting thing about Austin Aries against Joey Mercury is the first time ever Austin Aries is going to be wrestling in his hometown. So that's cool. Did you check out the promo yet that Austin Aries did?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, great promo, by the way. Here's a match I know you're going to die to see.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but let's try it.
The Squad.
The who?
The Squad. Spirit Squad.
Oh, God.
Take on Al Snow and Swoggle.
Yeah, I'm not watching that match.
And also scheduled to appear MVP Carlito and Lil Guido.
Did you see that you shoot picture? I retweeted today.
No.
Oh my God, I need to find it. It was
you
know the you shoot thing is where the fans like send questions into you shoot to ask questions to the talent that's on it, and they basically ask them no matter what. So you shoot had an interview with Al Snow.
Okay, I got it. I'm looking at it right now. Go ahead.
And somebody from Merseyside, England asks, Al, you've been quoted as saying a good match is one that draws the most money. By your own logic, is it fair to say you haven't had a good match in your entire career?
Oh,
to which I say, yes it is.
What does everybody want?
Al Snow not on my TV.
But he's teaming with Swoggle. Come on, man.
That's terrible. I have no desire to see that. But
the rest of the card
negative desire.
The rest of the card at least looks good. So
yeah, hopefully that's the opening match and I can accidentally miss it.
Whoa! Breaking news.
Wait.
Flow Slam has decided to shut their doors and shut down the streaming service and lay off all of their staff.
Suck my dick, Flow Slam. Suck his shit. Couldn't have happened to a nicer bunch of dickheads.
They tried to they hung their hat on a 7-figure deal with WWN Live, and so yeah, what was the reason behind them being dickheads?
Oh, dude, they're just the way they've been, just the way they've handled themselves from day one. They've been dickish. They've treated the promotions that they've worked with like shit. They've treated the fan base that said that their price was too high, which it was, like
$20 a month.
Yeah, and then they jacked it up to like $30. Like they raised the price
without notice.
Yeah, like I am so happy they're dead. Like honestly, that's the kind of company that needed to die a quick death to show other companies what not to do with a pro wrestling streaming service.
Yeah, they
Rest in
launched in
peace, Flow Slam.
October.
I hope we never hear from you assholes again.
They launched in October 2016, so they lasted all of a year.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
The parent company Flow Sports received $21.2 million in new funding to accelerate the online sports network growth into new sports. The attempt to build Flow Slam never clicked. Their best efforts trying to secure deals with Ring of Honor and New Japan fell through. And attempt to reach a deal with PWG. So they hung their hat on a 7-figure deal with WWN Live that led to WWN producing 5 live events per month for the service.
Dude, these guys were so bad. They attempted to cover a Ring of Honor house show earlier this month, and Ring of Honor had to come out and release a public statement that's saying, we did not endorse this. We have no association with these people whatsoever. You know, if Ring of Honor has to come out and say something like that, that should show you how Flow Slam is looked by at the industry as a whole, and they want nothing to do with you.
And then Flow Sports got a lawsuit with WWN saying that WWN misled them on how many pay-per-view buys the company was doing on its own streaming service, leading to them being overpaid for their content. The courts are still deciding all that. Yeah. Interesting.
That's funny. Funny.
Other promotions, including House of Hardcore, had agreements with Flow Slam before moving on, and I think House of Hardcore is doing just fine on Twitch because, to be honest, I only watched the main event live with Tommy Dreamer and Joey Mercury, but the event was flawless. Like I said, the archiving needs a little work on what goes where and how to label it and stuff like that, but I was still, in the end, I was still able to go back and watch the entire show after I watched the main event live. So overall, a thumbs up for Twitch and House of Hardcore there. So yeah, this Saturday from Wisconsin. Ratings this week, a holiday weekend, so we only got no SmackDown ratings. But Impact Wrestling dropped down to 169,000. Of course, that was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I mean, let's look. Let's be fair to Flair. To quote a term, like, it was Thanksgiving. Like, are we really expecting people to be watching Impact on Thanksgiving? I expect Raw's Christmas ratings to be abysmally bad.
Yeah.
So,
but hey, they gained 4,000 viewers from last Thanksgiving.
Ooh.
Raw took a big hit this week, dropping down to 2.75 million, down from 3.074 the week before, ending a long streak of 2 weeks at over 3 million. No sharp drop off in hour 3 though, only lost $100,000 on hour 3. During a media lunch in Las Vegas on yesterday, Dana White mentioned that CM Punk will be in Detroit this Saturday where UFC 218 is taking place and wanted to talk to him, presumably about fighting again. Dana White was quoted as saying, CM Punk is coming to Detroit, wants to talk to me. I love the guy. We'll see what he's doing. Obviously, we've already reported that he's in a training camp, so we'll see what happens there. And, of course, Dana loves the guy.
Dude's been training nonstop since he lost. He hasn't stopped training, and he's only going to get better. I really think they rushed him into the octagon before he was truly ready.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to get the name value off of him, and I think it was a mistake. Clearly, we know it was a mistake. But I think the next time we see him step in the octagon, he's going to be a different dude.
Yeah, but I heard
we didn't see last time.
I heard he's in a training camp though, getting ready for a fight. Training camp is a little different than training. So he, rumors were at the end of the year he might be wrestling. Wrestling. Yeah.
You wish. We wish.
Punk lost his UFC debut in September 2016 to Mickey Gall. very quickly in the first round.
Poor Punker.
If you're all on the edge of your seats wondering when Brock Lesnar will be back in the WWE, it'll be December 18th.
I don't even know why people get excited for his comebacks anymore.
Yeah.
Because, 9 times out of 10, all he's doing is just standing there and smiling where Paul Heyman cuts a promo for him. Then that 1 time out of 10, we actually get a cool physical brawl between him and somebody else, which I enjoy.
Or Brock cusses on the mic.
Yeah, but we're to the point now where I'm just oh, Brock's gonna be on Raw, so he just dude? Can you imagine how much you would love your job if literally you got paid to come to work and stand there and smile and laugh and listen to Paul Heyman cut a promo for you and then leave?
Yeah, I would gladly cash that check.
The amount of money that dude makes for that appearance is disgusting.
I would cash that check, yes.
Yeah.
December 18th, Raw.
He's living the dream, brother.
December 18th, Raw, Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island is when Heyman will return. Jerry Lynn, former ECW World Champion Jerry Lynn, visiting in Nashville over the weekend at a WWE event. And Rikishi and Brian Christopher backstage at Starrcade this past weekend. Appears that possibly the Singh brothers might be gone from the WWE. After losing a 2-on-1 handicap match this week to AJ Styles, they both ate a coloss. One looked really bad, too.
I was going to say, in one of them, Jinder Mahal tried to break their arm.
Yeah. Is that the same guy that Randy Orton killed?
It might have been. I have trouble remembering which one's which.
If that's the same guy, that guy just has a death wish, apparently.
Clearly.
It looks like there were talks, according to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, there were talks that the Singh brothers were going to be replaced as Mahal's lackeys by other talents. But then that
I don't think that's happening now. I just think he ain't getting the title back. He ain't getting new lackeys. He's done. He's done. The gender push is done. The gender push killed SmackDown in 2017. I couldn't be happier that this book is coming to a close, and we are done with the title reign of the modern day Jabba Raja.
I did like the Bollywood boys though, so I wouldn't want them to see leaving the WWE.
I never felt they were that talented to begin with.
Man.
I didn't like them in the Cruiserweight Classic. I didn't like what I saw from them when they were working with Global Force as their tag team champions. I never saw anything special from those two guys.
I never saw this, but apparently the network ran a Cyber Monday sale this week, offering former subscribers 3 months to the network for 99 cents.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow. Thanks for dicking us over, WWE. How about giving a bone to the fucking people that have been subscribing since day one?
Ish. Is H.
Oh my god.
Yeah, me and you, day one, motherfuckers. Never canceled.
No, I've never canceled. As mad as they've made me at times, I truly know it's the best value in terms of what I can get for my pro wrestling watching content. So there's no reason to cancel it. Because even if I'm not watching the current product, the back library to just turn on at random, when I'm doing work, and I just want something like as background noise, the entire service is invaluable for $9.99 a month.
Yeah, and more back library just added. Even though this is not really the back library we want, but it may be cool to go back to the first season and watch of NXT, but the reality show version of NXT is now completely on the network.
I ain't watching that shit.
Yeah, from 2010.
No fucking way.
Yeah, the first season maybe with some of those guys, but because obviously they formed the Nexus later. But from 2010 until the final days of 2012, before NXT actually became a brand, that is now on the network. Oh, and you'll laugh at this, Matt. The title on PW Insider for the Flow Slam article, simply the title is Flow Slam Dead.
They did. I say they did.
NXT, we were wondering what the hell they were doing. They didn't have an episode in the can. Well, we didn't think, but they did.
Sneaky
just
bastards.
Just before Survivor Series, they taped in San Antonio for NXT this week. Very entertaining. I mean, for an episode that really has no storyline progression or anything like that, it was a real entertaining episode.
It was good wrestling.
Yeah, Street Profits and Sabatelli Moss had a lengthy match that I thought was fun. Then Kairi Sane and Peyton Royce had a match that was kind of shorter than I wished. Wish that would have went a little longer, but the insane elbow for the win there. Of course, Street Profits remain undefeated in the first match, and then an amazing main event between Mustache Mountain, Tyler Bate and Trent Seven against Pete Dunne and Mark Andrews. Mark, don't call me man, Drews. Probably the sickest spot in the match was when Mark Andrews gave Tyler Bate a Hurricane Rana off the turnbuckle, and as Bate is flying in midair from the Hurricane Rana, Pete Dunne fucking catches him into a powerbomb. Fucking A. That was brilliant.
Match was great.
That was just a taste of the match, because it was a lengthy, great, awesome UK match. Bate hit the Tyler Driver 97 in the end to get the win for Mustache Mountain. After the match, Dunne attacks Mark Andrews from behind and hits the bitter end. Of course, Mark Andrews said he's only in this team to get the win and then challenge for the UK title, but they did not get the win. And amazing stuff there. And I like the venue. I like the different look, and looked like the lobby was pretty fucking sweet at the Aztec Theater there in San Antonio. I always like when NXT kind of has a different look every once in a while.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong. There ain't nothing wrong with changing it up as they go along. But I mean,
I like the stage. Remember the Arnold Classic where they kind of had the weird stage and stairs and stuff? I thought that was kind of cool. All right, Monday Night Raw this week, Knoxville, Tennessee, for episode 1279. Roman Reigns comes out to kick off the show. WWE pimps the fact of Roman Reigns holding the title last week. Got the most likes ever out of their Instagram account with 585,000 likes. Now let me just preface this for you, Matt. All right, so the most liked ever photo on Instagram was this Roman Reigns with 585,000 likes. I think it's not bad that the photo they posted on Instagram of Matt Hardy in his broken condition after his match backstage, that got about half of it. That tells you something, that a lot of people are excited for the broken Matt Hardy, aren't they?
Yeah, well, certainly. And I'm honestly surprised that the Roman Reigns photo is like the most liked photo ever. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You would think that some of their numbers would be higher.
Yeah. Instagram maybe just isn't as prevalent yet as Twitter and Facebook, but it's getting there. Reigns said we won't see The Miz for a while. Of course, he said, referencing the triple powerbomb the Shield did on the week before. Of course, Miz going to film the Marine 6 Close Quarters. And Miz's music hits, and they're like, what? He's here? Always love when the announcers play dumb sometimes. No, it's just Axel and Dallas. And Dallas complaining about Reigns disrespecting the most must-see IC champion of all time. Axel says, the only thing worse than the pain in his neck is the pain in his heart. Though they can't get revenge for their buddy The Miz, they know someone that can, and out comes Elias. And he says he'll be performing later tonight. And he knows he can guide Axel and Dallas to the promised land. So obviously we answer the question of what are they going to do with the Miz Tourage while Miz is gone. They'll be Elias's lackeys. Seth Rollins' music hits as Roman Reigns is still out there, so just kind of like the old little fist bump exchange. Hey, bro, what's up? As Seth Rollins heads to the ring to get it on in an amazing match with Cesaro, wasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, and it was long, too, which I didn't mind. You know,
it
really doesn't hurt to give Raw some long matches. You know, if you don't have anything good to do, you know, just give us some damn matches. People like that kind of stuff. It doesn't. Wrestling is not a bad, dirty word, Vince. Like, let people have some fucking matches.
Oh, yeah. That was one of the things Austin Aries said in his House of Hardcore promo. Pro wrestling, that's not a bad word here, is it? As Matt said, nice lengthy match, 20 minutes between the Architect and the Swiss Cyborg. And Rollins hits the ripcord knee for the victory. Afterwards, Charlie Caruso interviews him and asks if the Shield is going in different directions now. And Rollins says, no. Then goes on to say, Ambrose on his honeymoon with Renee, and he hasn't heard from him in a week. Wonder if Renee used her credit card. Kind of some funny stuff there from Rollins joking about the honeymoon. But he says that Ambrose is back next week, and Sheamus will be back from whatever weird Irish Mohawk convention he's at. And they are going to invoke their rematch clause for the tag team titles next week on Raw. Matt, I thought it was some pretty funny stuff from Rollins there.
Yeah, it was a fun-loving Rollins promo. And they don't, a lot of times they don't let Rollins showcase his natural good guy personality, and I felt like they really let it shine there a bit. And I think it's only a good thing to further relate him to the audience. I mean, he's already popular as it is, but I mean, promos like that don't hurt from going even better.
Yeah,
so,
I definitely had a chuckle at the Ambrose honeymoon stuff with Renee, so that was cool. Probably a foregone conclusion. Shield getting the titles back next week, right?
I certainly think so.
Raw General Manager Kurt Angle's in the office with Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann, Akira Tozawa, and Mustafa Ali. They want an opportunity. And Angle says Enzo holds the title, but he doesn't make the matches. So he says, this week it's a Fatal 4-Way match, and then another Fatal 4-Way the week after. The winners will then face off for the chance to be the number one contender for Enzo Amore's Cruiserweight title. Samoa Joe took on Titus O'Neil. About a 4-minute match, but a lot of offense by Titus in those 4 minutes. I thought it was a well-worked match by Titus for as short as it went. But, of course, we all know Joe's going to conquer, and he did with the Coquina Clutch. And after the match, Apollo Crews confronted Joe. Crews went for the leaping Enziguri. Joe ducked it and slapped on a Coquina Clutch. I thought that was pretty pimp of Samoa Joe there. And always entertaining to have the club shill some merchandise for us for Cyber Monday, as they did. Bliss joins commentary for the next match, which is supposed to be Sasha Banks and Mickie James and Bayley against the trio of Paige, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville. But Bayley's music played, or Mickie James' music played, nobody came out. Bayley's music played, nobody came out. Paige comes out with her new pals and wondered where Sasha's friends were. I think we all knew where Sasha's friends were. They show backstage as both Mickie James and Bayley were laid out. Paige goes, well, I guess that makes this a handicap match. Paige says, for the past week she's been hounded on social media, the supermarkets, and even the airports. Wink, wink, Matt. Asking her to explain her actions of last week. Paige said a year ago she was the woman. She was the one single-handedly erasing the word diva from the dictionary, which is true. Paige said she was the matriarch of the division, and she is showing us who she is now, and now that she's back. And Bliss knew what was going on, so she hightailed it out of the announce desk. Paige, Deville, and Rose go to the ringside. They say they are called Absolution. Mandy got on the mic and cut a promo saying before there was the boss, the four horsewomen, the goddess or an empress, there was Paige. Mandy said they didn't forget. DeVille said every woman has pushed the competition. They have pushed the envelope. They have raised the game. The fact is nothing would have elevated it if it wasn't for Paige. DeVille said that's why they pledged their allegiance to Paige. DeVille said Absolution will bring a different kind of action to the women's revolution. Paige asked if Banks will be with them or against them, and Banks made the answer obvious as she forearm shivers Paige, knocking her off the apron. Rose and DeVille attack her, and then all three women get in the action, delivering their finishers. Finally, with Paige with a Rampage DDT to end the segment. Man, that's how you do it there with three women groups, right? How they did it on Raw.
Yeah, because everything they've done with the group on Raw so far is right, where it feels like almost everything they've done with the group so far on SmackDown is wrong.
And on top of that, I thought Mandy and Sonya were great on the mic.
I thought Sonya was a little stiff, but I mean that will come in time. And I thought Mandy was a lot better than I thought she was going to be. I hadn't really seen her cut promos before.
Stiff and ice cold is kind of how Sonya should be cutting those promos.
Oh, that's true. And I don't know. It felt kind of. I don't want to say robotic because it wasn't completely robotic, but it kind of felt paint by the numbers. Like she was just trying to remember her lines, type of deal. And I'm not saying it was bad. I've heard a lot worse promos.
Oh, like Liv Morgan saying she's going to be a firecracker like the 4th of July. Oh my God, I shook my head at that. That was terrible.
Yeah, no. According to compared to Liv Morgan, Sonya Deville's The Rock. So, there's really no real complaints there.
Bray Wyatt comes out to a nice pop. It's been a while since he's wrestled with his illness. He cuts a promo before the match saying that he's never had holidays in his life. He's never cared. And your entire world exists inside of a cardboard box. Well, yeah, it comes from Amazon. Then Wyatt proclaims that we're all dead as he starts laughing repeatedly. I thought that was kind of funny. He kind of turned into the Joker there a little bit. Matt Hardy comes out and not his jovial self. He just walks down to the ring, all business, no delete chance, no nothing, just a look of empty brokenness, I think is what I would call it. Wyatt hits Hardy with the Sister Abigail after 3 minutes to get the win. After the match, Hardy, they show him in the ring still. And I immediately started smiling because why else would they be showing Hardy still in the corner after he gets beat in a 3-minute match, Matt? Why would the camera still be on him? Because something's going to happen. He yells, delete. And then he yells, delete, delete. And then he just goes absolutely delete crazy with about 1 million of them in a row. And I think we've finally seen the broken transformation, Matt.
Oh, we've definitely, it's definitely official.
How great was that?
Oh, I think I said it out loud in the living room when it happened. It's about damn time. So it's. I really hope this leads to a push.
Yeah.
I really, really hope. Jeff's gonna be out for a while. Let him run with this, and let him prove to Vince and everybody else what this gimmick is capable of.
Yeah.
So.
Like I said, I guess Reigns had the most liked photo on Instagram, 585,000. I think the Matt Hardy one approached 250, 300. For a guy that's not been used much since Jeff got hurt, that ain't bad. People want the broken brilliance, man. Jason Jordan talks to Kurt, says he wants Kane. Okay, sure. A great Fatal 4-Way match with the 205 Live guys. Tozawa, Davari, Swan, Dar for a chance to move on to become number one contender for Enzo's title. The four were given 13 minutes, your typical great cruiserweight match. Rich Swann moves on. And so then we'll find out who the next guy is. I wonder. My guess is they're going to go heel with the next winner, but I'd love to see a Rich Swann Cedric Alexander match, Matt.
Honestly, I think that's what they should do, because it'll be more because you do it that way, it's more of a question of who's going to win. Because if it's a heel against Swann, Swann's going to win, because they're not going to have somebody from the Zo Train against Enzo Amore. They're not going to do it. So honestly, it would make a lot more sense to let Cedric win and let Cedric and Rich Swann fight it out for the number one contendership.
Here's how I would book it. I don't know if it's how I would book it, but here's how I think Vince is going to book it. Let's just put it that way. I think how Vince is going to book it is Cedric Alexander is going to win. They're going to have an amazing 10 minutes. And then the Zo Train comes in and fucks it all up. And then Kurt Angle comes out and says, triple threat for the Cruiserweight Championship.
I mean, that's possible. I mean, that's typical WWE booking 101. So that wouldn't surprise me at all. Because after all these years, the heel still doesn't realize that when they fuck up a number one contendership match, they end up having to face both of them. Derp.
Elias giving us yet another great concert. He's joined by Dallas and Axel. How about Dallas and Axel on those harmonicas there, Matt?
Oh.
I thought it was kind of funny, though. The Dallas and Axel part I thought was kind of funny.
Elias ripping off Pearl Jam.
I did not get...
It's there, man. I've had several other people agree with me.
Okay. Roman Reigns, Elias for the Intercontinental title, and Matt, this was surprisingly a damn good match, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't know if you're surprised. Like, I thought it was solid.
Yeah.
So
I didn't expect it to be that good and go that long.
I am not the world's biggest Elias fan, but
No,
I do think the guy's, for the most part, very solid in the ring.
And we know Reigns is. Yeah, I thought it was a really great match. Of course, in the end, we know Roman ain't losing the title a week after. We all know the Shield's going to hold gold. So I'm trying to think back. Was it Reigns and Rollins that were tag champs and with Ambrose as U.S. title? Was that how that was back in the day? When all the Shield held gold?
That's
right?
a great question. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because remember, Ambrose held the title for so long because he had to break MVP streak. Because he barely defended that thing. As Reigns is coming out of the ramp at the end of the match, look who shows up. Samoa Joe slapping on a coquina clutch. How cool is that, Matt?
Those two guys together never had a bad match. So
I have a very good feeling we're going to be living in a world where Samoa Joe is the Intercontinental Champion and Bobby Roode's the U.S. Champion.
I'm okay with that.
I think we're going to be heading... I think we're going to be in that world here pretty soon. Asuka took on Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke said, yeah, she figured something out with Asuka. Yeah, she did not figure something out. That match lasted 4 seconds, I think.
Yeah, it was some kind of record for like the quickest submission in WWE history.
After the match, Paige's music hits. Absolution comes to the ring. They stare down Asuka, but they don't get in the ring. They back down. And I immediately say, Asuka's the higher power. It was her all along. No, probably not.
Oh my.
It was a callback to Vince when he kidnapped his own daughter.
Yeah, yes, I'm well aware of what the callback was to, Jimmy.
I know you were, but we're just educating the kids, just in case they weren't alive back then. Jason Jordan cuts a promo saying he's going to shut down the Big Red Machine. We could all say, yeah, right. That match lasted 2 minutes. Jordan hurts his knee again, and then Kane goes to town on it after the match. Finn Balor comes out to make the save. We somehow get an impromptu match there with Kane and Finn Balor. And Kane grabs a chair, hits Balor in the ribs to cause a DQ. Kane was getting ready to beat up on Balor when Strowman's music hits. Were you surprised that he was back right away?
No.
Yeah, because he's walked away from ambulance crashes and all sorts of shit.
No, I definitely expected him back.
Strowman gets his revenge by delivering a chair to the throat of Kane. And that's how the show ended. What did you think of the ending there, Matt?
Oh, it's always fun watching Kane get his ass beat.
Yeah, Strowman's awesome. Delivered the running power slam onto the steel steps. SmackDown Live, Lexington, Kentucky for episode number 953. We're coming up on SmackDown 1000 here in about a year, huh?
Craziness.
Shane McMahon kicks off the show. Sucks up to the Kentucky fans saying how he knows we all bleed blue. Yeah, but they aren't bleeding SmackDown blue, Shane. He talked about how he wanted to fire Owens and Zayn, and figured Daniel Bryan would do it for him, but in the end he didn't. And says that we're going to hear it from the horse's mouth why he didn't fire the guys. Out comes Daniel Bryan to some gigantic yes chants, and I read, loud pops because Lexington hasn't had a WWE live TV show there for a few years. So that's why the crowd was kind of excited, and then creative probably killed him by the end of the night, right, Matt?
Oh, boy.
Bryan said he understands why Shane thinks Owens and Zayn should be fired, but as someone that's been fired a couple times himself, hello, tie choking incident, he believes in second chances. He says Owens and Zayn should never have interfered in the Survivor Series match. But also, hey, Shane, your temperament gets in the way of the judgment sometimes. And Shane goes, yeah, you're right. But then Shane goes, well, remember Owens beating the shit out of my father in the ring, and Zayn got involved in the Hell in a Cell match, and reminded they betrayed the whole SmackDown live roster at Survivor Series. And to Shane, that's a triple check, taking a quote away from Sami Zayn the week before. Bryan told Shane that he sees Owens and Zayn, so he sees the worth of Owens and Zayn. If they fire him, they're just going to be on Raw. And Shane goes, great, be his sister's problem.
Idiot.
Bryan said, if Shane wants a puppet that does what he wants, then I'm not your guy. But if you want somebody to utilize talent in the best way possible, I am your guy. Shane told Bryan that he does trust him. So they kiss and make up, and they get along for now. I still worry that Daniel Bryan's first match back is going to be against Shane, but that's Vince logic in my head. That's what happens when you do a show like this for 3 years, right, Matt? After that initial segment and commercial, Zayn and Owens walk up to Bryan. Say, Bryan's a reasonable one. And says that you don't agree with Shane banning him from ringside on this no DQ match against Randy Orton tonight. And Bryan says, who are you to make demands with me? The answer is no. No, the answer is hell no. Matt, why would you ban someone from ringside on a no DQ match?
Why would you fire 2 talents instead of trading them to Raw for talents that can help your brand?
We could play this wide game with SmackDown Creative.
Yeah, I'm just...
This might be a 4-hour show if we do that.
Yeah, let's not do that. But I'm just saying.
I know. We're both talking in rhetorical questions. So.
Yeah.
The New Day. The New Day played a nice little prank on a kid in the crowd. He thought he was going to give himself a mouthful of Bootios. Instead, they flip open the box, and out comes pancakes. What is the deal with pancakes?
I don't understand the pancakes thing.
Okay, I thought I was missing something.
No, unless they're bringing out New Day pancakes that none of us actually know about right now. I don't understand the pancake thing at all. Like I really don't get it.
Much like I don't understand Big E serving food from his tights, as he did with pancakes for the Usos, because they're buddies now. So
yeah, so weird.
What was weird was the fact that Saxton wanted to eat them.
That's Saxton.
Graves is like, I'm walking away if you eat those pancakes. Like, don't eat them. I don't want Graves walking away. New Day took on Gable and Benjamin. This week, the New Day, represented by Xavier Woods, who continues to impress the fuck out of me in the ring, and Kofi Kingston. These guys had a hell of a match. Does New Day defeating Gable and Benjamin, because Gable and Benjamin, I guess, are quote-unquote next in line for the Usos. Are we seeing a triple threat here?
Man, I don't know.
Are we seeing a fatal 4-way, maybe? The Bludgeon Brothers get in there?
Yeah.
Or are they going to just have the Bludgeon Brothers kill people for, like they like to do sometimes, is just feed them to jobbers and stuff, feed jobbers to them and stuff?
Yeah, you never know.
I think in this case with Harper and Rowan, though, you could put them in the title picture right away just because they're established. They're like the first or second ever NXT tag champs. They're established, so I don't think it would really hurt them to push them up that fast. I don't think you really need to feed them jobbers like you're doing with Oscar right now.
Oscar?
Sorry. No, Oscar. I said Oscar.
I could have sworn you said Oscar. Nobody is ready for Oscar!
No, I was getting ready to say sorry after Oscar. Sorry, Dana Brooke. I did not mean to call you a jobber. I love you, Dana. But she was facing jobbers before that.
Well, apparently she's joining Titus Worldwide, so...
Dana is?
That was the video on WWE's YouTube after Raw.
And when did Tozawa leave Titus Worldwide?
When he decided that they were doing nothing for his career.
Good point. Charlotte in the locker room getting ready. Naomi talks about teaming up with her later, and Natalya shows up saying she's willing to put aside their personal business.
For about 60 seconds.
Yeah. Video for the Bludgeon Brothers show airs right before commercial because, well, the Bludgeon Brothers are next. Hype Bros wanted some more of the Bludgeon Brothers. Well, basically the same thing that happened last week happened this week. Instead, they beat up on Ryder instead of Mojo. And about 1 minute later with the double, kind of like a double, kind of a Celtic cross, crucifix, kind of like a kind of move there for the Bludgeon Brothers finisher. I like some of the tag moves those guys are using together. They're pretty unique for those two big guys too. So don't have a damn bad word to say about the Bludgeon Brothers right now. Hype Bros are interviewed in the ring by Dasha. Well, Ryder was interviewed in the ring, and then Mojo went to town on him and attacking him. Finally, starting the breakup of the Hype Brothers, but instead of turning Ryder like they should have, they turned Mojo. And for some reason, the fans were chanting, "This is awesome," for Mojo turning heel.
People just like violence. It was violence for the sake of violence. That's the only. That's why people were cheering.
Okay, Dusty.
But it's true. That's all. That they were cheering because of the violence. It was a violent turn, and people thought the violent turn was awesome. But honestly, it should have been Ryder turning on Mojo.
Yeah, I mean,
and it really sucks that they chose to give Mojo the push over Ryder.
Because it would have been a different dynamic for Ryder, and Mojo could play the baby face that got betrayed. I think he could play that character well. I'm interested to see how he's going to play the heel. I think Mojo's talented, so I'm curious to see where it goes. But I fully agree with you too that Ryder should have been the one to turn heel. I think it would have been a better dynamic, but we're not on the creative team.
Nope.
Rude's interviewed backstage, saying that talking about how Baron Corbin called him absent-minded last week. And Rude basically saying that he's going to take away the United States Championship. Corbin is scared. And Rude says that being a threat to the United States title is absolutely legal. Oh, there's Corbin to interrupt, saying that he's delusional if he thinks that Corbin is scared of him. And Rude says, well, why don't you put that title on the line? And Corbin goes, no.
Pussy.
So probably Clash of Champions when we'll see that.
I hope the title changes.
And then a lot of people thought, oh, a new U.S. title's coming because an arena used a photoshopped fake title on Corbin that I guess had been going around Reddit for a while. And
what a bunch of dopes.
Yeah. Nope. Though I wish the U.S. title would be redesigned. I don't like that U.S. I just don't like it.
I don't like the U.S. title being a blatant copy of what the Intercontinental title is either. And if you look at that championship in that photo, It's a blatant, like they took the Intercontinental Championship and changed the colors to put a fucking eagle on it. So
you read where that title, but that is not even a WWE design. You know where that came from? This is on PW Insider earlier today. It's a knockoff belt from a Pakistani company.
Oh my!
So it's not even a mock-up or anything from the WWE. It's just a knockoff belt.
Well, yeah, I didn't think it was real. I had people tell me immediately like this isn't a legitimate title. This is not happening. This is fake. But it's just funny the fucking idiots at the arena that put that marketing together. I'm sure WWE was super thrilled with them.
Yeah. As advertised, AJ Styles taking on Samir and Sunil in a handicap match before as Styles gets into the ring, Jinder attacks from behind, and wow, Jinder was wearing a loud suit. So after beating up on AJ some, they go to commercial, then they attack Styles as the match finally begins, but then Styles gets the upper hand. And how about that Styles clash from the second rope? That was pretty dope, wasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty dope spot.
To nobody's surprise, AJ Styles gets the win after 4 minutes. And after the match, Mahal crucifies the Singh brothers, which makes us think, or made Mike Johnson think that they're being written off.
Bye.
Ruby, Liv, and Sarah Logan, interviewed by Dasha. We already talked about how terrible this was. Moving on. And it wasn't anything on the women. Bad writing. Ugh. What isn't bad writing is the New Day trying to sell us Cyber Monday gear, because that's always entertaining. Big E singing Sasha Banks' song was pretty funny, Matt.
Yes. Big E's entertaining, period. If you don't like Big E, there might be something wrong with you.
Yes, that's why I want him to be pushed.
Well, so would I. I'd rather him go for singles titles.
Yeah, keep the New Day together. Fuck Woods and Kofi together, a fucking great tag team. Have them go for the tag titles. Big E for the world champion, or even just the U.S. champion. Something, man. They deserve it. But at the same time, I don't think they're too worried about titles with those paychecks that are coming in, are they?
Yeah, I think they're kind of okay.
6-woman tag match. Thank God this didn't copy Raw, or we really would have went off. This match actually happened, kinda, but Natalya left shortly after, so it was 3-on-2. It was sloppy, Matt, wasn't it?
It wasn't good.
No. The main takeaway here was they injured Naomi.
Well, they might have legitimately injured Naomi. Like that spot did not look good.
Oh, the tossing her into the
stairs.
Oh, I was talking more of the into the barricade.
Wow, that didn't look pretty either. But I felt like that stair spot didn't look right either. And I would not be surprised if she legitimately got hurt off of that.
I think though she's reported to be injured with separated shoulder or whatever. I think those are all. I think it's kayfabe injuries though.
I would believe that the storyline was intended to give her a kayfabe injury, but at the same token, I would not be surprised if she was actually legitimately hurt. I would not be surprised.
Fashion Files this week is plays off a Saw, and please don't tell me the Ascension are dead now. Please don't. I won't be able to take it anymore if Breezango's BFFs are dead. But it was a funny Saw parody. I liked it, Matt.
Yeah, I always enjoy the Fashion Files, and because honestly, we need some things to laugh at nowadays. And it's to me, it's always entertaining. It's not to be taken seriously. It's just funny, It's just funny entertainment. And I enjoy that kind of stuff. I know some people don't, but I find that the stuff that Breezango does to be highly entertaining.
All 4 guys were cuffed, similar to the first scene of the first Saw movie in the bathroom there or whatever, and Breezango gets free because the key was in their dead horse's stuffing, and Ascension thought that Fandango was coming back to save them, but instead he forgot his hat, so the clock went to 0 and Ascension got gassed. So we think they're dead.
Well, you think they're dead.
They better not be dead, because I will be pissed, god damn it.
They're going to come back as zombies.
The Snickers moment was Occupy Raw with Daniel Bryan, further hinting that WWE is probably thinking about rethinking the Bryan wrestling thing. Orton with hair looks different. He looks a lot younger with hair, too.
That's true.
Orton with hair against Kevin Owens. I thought the no DQ match went about 16 minutes. I thought it was predictable with Sami Zayn, but overall I enjoyed it. I thought this was a great physical no DQ match, Matt. Did you like it too?
Yeah, I didn't have any problem with it.
Just problem with creative, right?
Well, yeah, but I've tried to be nice tonight, or nicer than normal.
Yeah. Well, Sami Zayn came out, took a chair to Owen. Hey, but he was banned from ringside. They weren't at ringside, Matt.
I'm okay with that.
Me too. So then Owens ends the match with a bullfrog splash for the win. Very good though between Orton and Owens. Well done, gentlemen. So at least we ended on a positive note there for SmackDown. We are 2 weeks from 2 weeks from this Saturday would be Clash of the Champions, right?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, that's gonna do it for Lost of the Midcard. We're gonna wrap things up here now, but then after we wrap things up, we are gonna cover the spoilers for NXT. So thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. If you haven't done so already, search for Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button, tell your friends to do the same. We're also on the YouTube if you like to subscribe that way to listen to us. And go to facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. Our pinned tweet has those links there, as well as our pinned message there has those, as well as our pinned tweet on Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also show a lot of great stuff from the wrestling world. Matt's on the Twitter at Raw Showtime. I'm on the Twitter at JB Huskers. Before we get to the spoilers, Matt, what are your final thoughts on our first show here since Survivor Series?
Was Riot Squad as a second rate? Absolution. Maybe even third rate.
Wasn't pretty.
Be better,
So,
SmackDown creative. Be better.
Please. Thank you for tuning into Lost in the Midcard. For those that don't want to be spoiled, you can tune out, and we'll catch you next week. For those that are staying with us, we got a main event for TakeOver Philly. Andrade Cien Almas is taking on the redemption of Johnny Gargano. So they had him lose all this time so he could redeem himself to take on Andrade Cien Almas at TakeOver. Matt, you're sighing, which means you don't like it.
No, I don't. Because he's lost way too much lately, and I don't see them letting him beat Almas.
Your hope was that Aleister Black would win to take the title on his first defense, right?
Yeah, I was hoping Black would win, and according to what I read, he was in position to win, and the Undisputed Era attacked him and took him out. So that's how Gargano won. Gargano basically picked up the scraps after, because Black apparently had Lars Sullivan beat, and Undisputed Era came out and fucked up Black, and Gargano pinned Black. So... and I'm just like, if I thought for 1 second that Gargano was going to beat Almas, I'd be excited about this because the Gargano deserves it. But to me, like, I've already seen Gargano and Almas at TakeOver in Brooklyn. And while the match was amazing, but the wrong guy won then, and I feel like the wrong guy's going to win in Philly. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Triple H. Put the title on Gargano, and I will love you forever. But here, at the same token, I will again say the same thing I said a couple weeks ago. When's Ciampa coming back? Because if Ciampa's going to be ready for that, well, we all know what's going to happen. He's going to cost Gargano the title. But
what would be great?
Personally, I'd rather have him come back and feud with Gargano for the title.
Yeah. What would be great is he's ahead of schedule, but we're going to keep that quiet. And Gargano wins the title. Philly goes nuts because it's a great story. Johnny Gargano is NXT champion. Nobody expected it. It's a great story. Philly's going to pop hard. And then out of nowhere, Ciampa comes and beats the shit out of him. It's probably not going to happen because I don't think Ciampa's ready. But, hey, people have come back soon.
Yeah, no, look, if Gargano wins the title, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I just saw this match a few months ago, and I already know what you're planning because you're not gonna take the title off Almas already. So I just kind of I'm just really like, if I thought for 1 second that Gargano had a shot to win the title, I'd be a lot more excited than I am right now. I don't see him winning. But then again, I didn't see Almas beat McIntyre either. So you know,
and the weird backstage reasoning for that too. I don't. Anyways, let's go in order a little bit. December 6th show. There's 4 qualifying matches to the Fatal 4-Way. Killian Dane against Trent Seven. That's going to be a fun one to watch. Pretty cool to see Trent Seven be in the qualifying for the NXT. I like how they're mixing these guys in. UK guys kind of getting a shot at the NXT Championship. Gargano had a shot at the UK Championship. I like that. I like how they're doing that. So Killian Dane, Trent Seven. That's going to be a fun one. Gargano and Ono was another qualifying match. Sonya Deville defeated Ruby Riott. The show after that, Lars Sullivan defeats Roddy Strong. Ember Moon defeated Peyton Royce. After the match, Billy attacks Ember, and Nikki Cross makes the save. Aleister Black against Adam Cole, baby. That'll be fun, Matt.
Yeah, I'm sure that will be excellent.
Authors of Pain took on Birch and Lorcan. And we have, for the NXT Tag Team titles, we got new Tag Team Champions, don't we, Matt?
We do.
Red Dragon, which they weren't called that, but O'Reilly and Fish are your new tag champs. That's awesome. And for some reason, Ember Moon defended her title against Sonya Deville. And,
I'll give you one guess who won that.
Yeah, and after the match, Kairi Sane was kind of getting a closer look at Ember Moon, thinking she might be the next one up for the title, but someone came and choked out Kairi Sane. Matt, who was that?
The NXT debut of Shayna Baszler.
Yes.
Can't hate.
And the final of the tapings, I am missing a couple pieces here, I think. Oh, Aleister Black and Cole was...
It was the fourth qualifier, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they didn't mention that. And then the final episode of the tapings, Street Profits defeated some enhancement talents, and they're probably going to be in line for a tag team title shot eventually. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate for the UK title. That's probably going to be fucking great. I heard on this report that I'm looking at, Matt, I heard that Gargano and Ono was one of the best matches of the year. So look at that one maybe to see.
Well, I sure as fuck hope so, because I'm tired of seeing Ono job. So I at least hope that he went down in good defeat, and I hope that the match was incredible. I really want that to be true.
So yeah, Alistair had knocked Lars out with the Black Mass. The Undisputed Era pulls out Black and destroys them. So then Gargano picks up the pieces with the outside in DDT on Black to get the win. Looks like we're going to be in for some interesting month of NXT, huh, Matt?
I mean, for the most part, the taping sounded good. A little, I rolled a couple of the matches, but for the most part, we should be getting some awesome matches. And I like the idea of Gargano challenging for the championship, but I don't think he's going to win. So it's just like meh.
Yeah, hopefully he surprises us. Well, for Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost. The Midcard will be back at you next Thursday.